This may be the first vlog that starts with the uploading of the last one. I started this last night. Like, I wrapped it on the 31st of March, edited in the last clip, processed it when I got home last night, rendered it, did all that, designed my thumbnail, and I was like, I'm going to put it into YouTube, I'm going to have it processed, put in its end screen, and then by tomorrow it should be uploaded, and I had it scheduled for 10 a.m. It is 9:30, and we are at 38%. This is after stopping it once and starting it again. And I do think the internet has something to do with it, because on my phone, even just like, I think I tried to upload a story to Instagram, and even that wasn't working until I shut my Wi-Fi off and just did it over cellular. So I have a feeling the Wi-Fi is really slow. We're 40%. Here's the thing, as long as I hit 10 a.m., I'm good. April 1st, happy April Fool's Day. Haven't really seen anything super heinous. April Fool's Day hits different when you don't go to school anymore. You know, last night there was a major storm. Like wind, rain. Driving home from my dad's last night was biblical. Like, that's the only way I can think to describe it. It was sheets of rain. Could not see 5 feet in front of me. But by the time the skies opened up, I was so far along in my commute home that I was like, I'm gonna muscle through. So I was real careful, went slow, made it home. I'm a little impressed with myself, to be honest, because I wasn't even like anxious towards the end. After a while, it just felt like a water ride. Hopefully by the end of April, it will start to really feel like spring, because like I have yet to see like buds on trees or anything. But the grass is starting to look greener, which is nice. Today's Friday. Today, I get a bonus check from my job, which let's see if it came through, because I have some bills today. And one of my goals for April, I set monthly goals. I don't really set full-on yearly goals, although driving on the highway was one of those goals for the year. Like, that was like a New Year's resolution. Yay! It came through, as well as my pay from last week, because it's Friday. I owe my mother $500 for my car, and then I have to put whatever's left towards my credit card, which got charged this morning because I forgot to shut a subscription off. So that's too late. So let's go over the goals for April. I have a digital bullet journal this year, which I'm really enjoying. Way easier than the physical one, let me tell you. Wastes a lot less paper. What are the goals for April? We're keeping up the highway practice. We are being nice to myself when I go on my New York trip, because if you remember from March, I am not very nice to myself when my body reacts, like how my body reacts. And then pad savings and cut costs, which is the big thing. I have to go through my spending and cut a bunch of stuff, because there's even things I don't remember that I do. Clean out for spring, which is going to include books and clothes. Makes sense. It's why my room is so cluttered, because there's a bunch of clothes back here and there's books everywhere. And then keep up with my journal, which I've been for the most part doing. I wanted to write last night. I was too tired. I was like exhausted and ready to fall asleep. Today we're probably just gonna start with like a tidy of my room. And I'm gonna say it, and I'm gonna mean it this time. This is not gonna be like March. I'm gonna say it, I'm gonna mean it. I bought new sheets, so I'd have 2 sets of sheets to switch out on my bed, so I wouldn't have to wash the same ones over and over again. So I'm gonna change my sheets, get all this crap off the floor, possibly vacuum, because I think we're getting to that point again. Declutter my desk, as you can see. That's what I'm dealing with. Spring cleaning. Spring cleaning. Okay. Here's a summary of how yesterday went. You saw me when I was trying to upload last month's vlog. That took about 2 hours, and it required me to stop the video twice and then update my machine, log back in, let it just run a full upload, let it process no matter how long it took. It was so hard not to touch it. I also tried to not do anything else on the computer. Like, I wasn't watching videos, I wasn't doing anything. It was just doing that. And eventually, 2 hours after I wanted it out, around noon, it's up, it's out. If you haven't seen it, whatever. So that happened. So my morning kind of got derailed because I felt like I couldn't leave my seat until it was done, and I didn't want to walk away, because if there was an error or something, I wanted to be able to fix it as quickly as possible so it would be able to do what it needed to do. So around 1 o'clock, I end up brushing my teeth, washing my face, whatever. I did not change my shirt. I feel like I've been wearing my flat sound shirt for at least 3 days because it was time for me to make my bed, clean my room. And I did declutter my desk just a bit. There is a random jar of peanut butter here from a snack excursion a few days ago. But I decluttered my desk. Changed the sheets on my bed. I have to make my bed this morning still. The one thing I didn't get to do was like really vacuum the floor, like clean the floor. However, I did remove 2 stains because when I emptied my trash, something liquid came out of it that smelled bad and I'm not sure what it was. So I had to get stain remover and get it out of the carpet. But it's clearer. It's clearer. The one thing creating clutter is I have a big bag of clothes to donate, which I'm going to do at some point this week. I do have to stop in at my job even though I don't have a shift because we have new uniforms and they need to figure out what sizes to order, so we all have to come in and try stuff on. So I gotta go do that. So I may do that on the same day because where I donate my clothes is close by. And then after I cleared my desk, cleared my bed, I sat down for some reading sprints. I have a Twitch account. I don't broadcast. But I follow Little Book Owl from YouTube on there, and she will occasionally host reading sprints. I got a little notification on my phone that she was doing it, and I never ever get her when she's live because she's in Australia, so sometimes it doesn't quite match up. Or when I join reading sprints, it's always really late at night for those people and like early in the evening for me. So I always end up showing up there when it's ending. So I did some of those, and then I made the mistake of reading my book in bed, and then I napped for like 45 minutes. But I ended up sleeping for 45 minutes, and then when I woke up, my mom was home, and it was like 7 o'clock, and somehow all 3, oh, I remember, Ren was out running errands, so they weren't even home. Ren is my sibling, by the way. I don't know if like that was made clear in previous videos, but Ren is my sibling. We all 3 of us ended up watching Bridgerton, which is funny because it was originally just a me and mom thing, and then we're only on episode 3. I have not seen like the iconic scene that's all over TikTok. Like after seeing it now, I want to finish it. Yeah, they came in and they were like, "What are we watching?" And we were like, "Watching Bridgerton." And then I fully expected them to kind of like hang out, have a little snack, and go upstairs. No, they got sucked in. It's the bee sting episode. So good. Yeah, no, they got sucked in, so we may continue it with them. Yeah, so we watched Bridgerton, and it was great, and I went upstairs, and then I saw a new Adult Swim series called Lucy, Daughter of the Devil. I don't get Adult Swim with my cable package, so I have not seen anything new from them in a while, but I have HBO Max, which has all their stuff, so I did watch a few episodes of Lucy, Daughter of the Devil. That show is such a trip. Listening to H. John Benjamin voice the devil is hilarious, and then yeah, I ended up going to bed, and I journaled, and things were good. Today's Saturday. I may just want to clear my nightstand. It's kind of the one thing I really missed yesterday, other than the floor. And then my mom and I are gonna go see the movie. I just sent my friend my job's April Fool's joke with no context, and now they're harassing me. We're gonna go see The Lost City. That's what we're gonna go see with Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum and all of them. So I'm looking forward to that. I got to thinking more about April as a month, meaning like what I want to accomplish. I'm just shutting that off so I don't get more text messages. I was thinking about April more last night when I was doing my journaling. And this phrase kind of came to me. I didn't get it from anywhere. I just kind of made it up based off of like stuff I'd been listening to and things that had been encouraging to me as of late. But it was curiosity, not commitment. Because I have this very all or nothing thinking where if I make a choice to do something, it has to be this like legally binding commitment. Like to me, applying for jobs isn't just applying for jobs, it's eventually you are going to get a job and you're going to have to change and everything's going to change and you have to figure it out, which is a big problem to me. It's something I had to overcome with my auditioning because in my head, I'm the opposite of every actor. I'm not like, oh, they'll never call me, like I'm never going to get this. I always think I'm going to get it and then I panic about what I'm going to do when I get it. I guess it's confidence. And then it only took after like a lot of like auditioning and getting nothing to realize like, oh, most of the time nothing will change. Cool. Because right now everybody's like, what are you gonna do? In a very like life sort of way. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I was like, it's too much. So I started coming up with this phrase, like, curiosity over commitment. And it came from this idea of, like, turning fear into curiosity. I think I'm gonna try and start doing this, coming at it from a place of, what happens if I do this? What happens if I try this? Whether that be new forms of submission. Like, I'd been doing a lot of research last month into just casting directors in general, casting agencies, how to submit when you don't really have representation. I do have representation, but she only goes so far. Like, what happens if I do that? So this morning I woke up and I was like, well, what can I try today? And I was like, well, you can't do submission just yet, because if you don't know, here's a little tidbit about acting and casting directors in the year 2022. Most casting directors still only take submission by mail. Not email, not digital, mail. Meaning you need to go to CVS, get your stuff, or a Kinko's or a FedEx or a Staples, and get your stuff printed, get the resume printed on the back, put them in envelopes, and ship them out. That is a very expensive endeavor, which unfortunately I cannot afford at the moment. So I was like, well, you can't really go on submission just yet, unless I find a bunch of casting directors that take e-submission, which, if you do want one, do not bombard this place. Tara Rubin Casting takes rolling submissions through email. I'd suggest to do some research on the proper formal way to do this, just so you're not, like, sending files. I did this a few years ago. I may do it again, just because I've updated pictures and things like that. But Tara Rubin casts, like, Dear Evan Hansen, Phantom of the Opera. There's a bunch of other ones. They do a lot of Broadway casting. This is Broadway. I don't know how much television they do. And then they do regional theater as well. So I'd suggest that. They are like the one I know of that does. Everywhere else, especially film and television, it's hard copy. And it's classist and stupid, but unfortunately that's how it goes right now. So until I can afford to have like 6 million headshots printed, this is where we're at. Looking into means of exposure. That's kind of where my curiosity lies right now. I've been trying out different TikTok things. I have 2 TikTok accounts. I have the first one I ever made, which is basically just shit posting. Trends, weird little things that pop into my head, nothing super controversial. And then I have my music TikTok, which is like Lindsey Taft music, like my Instagram. And I've started playing guitar and putting up my original songs. It's just a different avenue to get where I want to go. I write music. I put out an EP 5 years ago. I'd like to get back into releasing music, but again, that is money I don't have. So leading with curiosity, figuring out how to produce my own demos would be great. I am not super savvy with recording software. I'm great with video editing software, terrible at recording software. But yeah, we're trying to lead with curiosity right now. So I am gonna keep auditioning. I have to get back on that because I had taken a break because I was getting new photos. Now, the most recent one I did was last week and I got a rejection, which is actually kind of nice because most of the time I get nothing. So it was kind of nice for them to say, hey, we looked at your thing, you're not going forward to the next round. And I was like, cool, whatever. Thank you for letting me know. Most people don't. Checking like playbill on Monday, picking which ones I think I can reasonably do within the deadline, you know, filming it, sending it in, editing it, doing all that. All right, getting on with the day. Finishing some cleaning, going to the movies. That's it. Are we sick of being in the room yet? Maybe? Okay, today is Monday. Had therapy this morning. It is April 4th. Grammys were last night. Didn't watch them, just waited for any news on Taylor Swift. She didn't win anything. But the guy who won Album of the Year, John Batiste, well deserved. Well deserved. He's great. I have basically very little to do today. I have an event tonight at 7. Someone at my job is retiring, so I thought the event was on the 8th for some reason, but turns out that's just like the potluck thing they're doing at work for her, which I won't be there because I'm not working that day. So I'm going to this thing they're doing at a brewery tonight. Looking forward to it, and I checked the menu and luckily it's not super expensive if I don't order a drink, which I usually don't. So I've got that tonight. That's really like the only big thing. So I think like my brain right now is like in waiting mode because I'm gonna go do something social tonight, so I'm kind of like mentally putting an outfit together and stuff. My hair, I just washed my hair, is frizzy, but I prefer to blow dry my bangs and then let the rest of it dry naturally because I don't want to fry it. Yesterday I did a deep clean of my desk and my nightstand, like took everything off of it, dusted, disinfected, wiped everything down. Very pleased with that. Tomorrow, Tuesday, I have to go try on my work shirt, and then I'm donating some clothes, which will be good. And then on Wednesday, haircut, and then I'm gonna go through my books. So this is the game plan. I was gonna take the highway. I wish I'd brought water. I was gonna take the highway to the place, but rush hour in my area can be anywhere from 4 o'clock to 7, and I have to be there by 7. Also, the highway I would take faces west, which means I'd be driving into the sun. I don't have the patience for that. So we're going the back way there, and we're gonna take the highway home, which is what I do for work. So, yeah. Okay, let's debrief. Went to the event. It was at a bar that used to be a different restaurant that we used to go to a lot when I was a kid. It had been transformed into a microbrewery. There was a restaurant upstairs with like a jazz band and stuff, and then it was like a tap room downstairs with long tables and stuff and like TVs everywhere. Met up with my work buddy. We had kind of pulled in at the same time, so we came in together. Had a good time. We chatted. I had one drink. It was just like a strawberry vodka lemonade, which was good because I thought I was going to have to just figure out a beer to drink because there was like 5 million. And then I saw that there was a like mixed drinks menu, and it was like vodka lemonade. You can't really screw that up. And they didn't. It was very good. However, I was on an empty stomach and I could feel it working. So had to eat something soon. So I shared some food with my work friend. And then, you know, we just got to chatting all night and everything, which was really cool. You know, we wished the person who was retiring well. People who had left the store were back and visiting, which was really cool. I was hearing stories. We were, you know, talking shit. Love that. And then around like, I want to say 9:15, they shut the music off and then turned on the television volume for the Kansas-North Carolina game. And I started to notice some men trickling in with like Kansas colors. And I was like, ooh, it's about to get wild in here in a second, because this is a sports bar. I'm not a sports person, nor do I like loud, rowdy men. Makes me nervous. Sorry, just a preference. So me and my work friend, I think quickly kind of like, she had like gone away to talk to somebody who I didn't know for a while, so I was like hanging out, and then after a while I was starting to hit the wall, and I started to notice the like big groups of sports fans trickling in, and I was like, and then the game started, and there's like loud clapping, they're yelling, all this stuff, and I was looking at my work friend, and eventually we were like, yeah, I don't watch sports, I'm hitting the wall, so let's go home. Drove up the street, hopped on the highway, came home in like 18 minutes. It's like 10:04 now. Overall, good night. I socialized. I went to a bar and I had a drink. Granted, it was one drink, and apparently that was enough because I haven't had one since February when I visited Liz, because I accidentally mixed liquor and beer, which I didn't realize I'd done until it was too late. And that's why I got so sick, which is why I haven't really drank since then. I'm proud of myself. It's out of my comfort zone. I was definitely overdressed though. Like, most people came from work and they were in like, we dressed very casually at my job. So someone said to me, they're like, I feel underdressed. And I was like, I just don't want to wear the same thing I wear to work to come out with you guys. I'm freaking tired. It's Monday, right? I gotta get up, not super early, but I gotta go to the gym tomorrow. My trainer has new programs for me, so yeah. This angle is terrible. I'm so sorry. The steering wheel blocks when I do it the other way. It is April 5th, day after my little bar excursion. I'm not like hungover or anything, that's not why I'm talking about it. Woke up with a flare-up for my back that's going down and affecting my legs. Not wild about it. I'm going to the gym anyway just because staying idle makes it worse sometimes. Running late though because it was really hard for me to get out of bed because all I wanted to do was like actually like draw a bath and like soak my whole lower body because that's what it feels like. My period can also exacerbate this problem, so which I know like we're getting to that point in the month, so I think it's like a mix of like flare up because I was really like in my chair for like hours yesterday and not moving around. And then I went to an event where I was standing a lot, and then I was sitting in like very unsupportive stools, like they were really high stools. It was a brewery. It's just like all the things teaming up, and so right now my lower body just aches, like it's a deep bone ache. There has been a man cleaning up the yard across the street from me for 4 hours. I've been hearing this drone for 4 hours. I've tried to block out this drone for 4 hours. I am watching this man ride around in this fucking lawnmower. There's nothing left to clean up. The yard is clear. The grass is dead. There's nothing to mow. Like, I don't understand. For 4 hours. I slept for maybe 15 minutes. If I had a headache, this would have been so much worse. Like, I love spring, but the thing I hate is hearing 6 different men do yard work. Okay, I've had a long day. Woke up, went to get a haircut. The bangs are a bit short right now, but they'll grow. They'll grow. It looks good with my hair pulled back. And I have gotten compliments on them from strangers. So, mission accomplished. I spent the day getting rid of clothes. I went to this place that buys clothes first. Dropped off my stuff. I had like a lot of I had some like pullovers and things like that, which I thought would have been fine. A pair of jeans, I think, that I bought from that place that just don't fit anymore. They ended up taking like one sweater and one pair of jeans. So I was like, okay, made like $9.20. And then they said, because I had a few dresses in there that just didn't fit me anymore, and they're like, we don't really take formal wear, but if you want to try this place across the street, they might. So I did. And I just said, yeah, I just have like a couple things for you to see. And I pulled them out, and they're like, yeah, we don't really do formal wear either. And I was like, okay. So then I drove to the big thrift store in my area that I always feel comfortable donating to, because even stuff they cannot take, they dispose of ethically. If you guys have a Savers in your area, donate to them. There was cool stuff in there. There was a full electric organ for sale. What would I do with that? I don't know. But there was also like 2 folding director's chairs as well. They didn't look in great shape though, so I was like, like I can't really imagine why I would need it other than for aesthetic. So I've been all over Kingdom Come. I did go to the bookstore while I was waiting for my clothes to be processed. Picked up a book that came out yesterday, but I had it on my list since September actually, when I went to look up the title to make sure I had it right. It's called Alone Out Here. Science fiction tends to get me out of reading slumps. I'm almost done with Paranormalcy. I gotta finish it in 6 days because it's due back on the 12th. I have to say, when I looked at this shot in the monitor, it looked like it was lit like a sitcom. I don't know how it looks because I have different settings for the video setting, and I was looking at it like in a photo mode. We're getting to a point right now. This happens every so often with like social media where like I go through periods of time where it's like not on my phone and then put it back on my phone, and obviously it starts gathering data again. And so like you start getting sent down like weird little rabbit holes that are like really aggressive. So TikTok like started out very casually. I was only on my music account, which has like very few people I follow. Like it's very easy for the feed to finish, and then I tend to not look at the For You page because I don't want it gathering data to keep me there. So usually I check the followed page, check notifications, and then I leave. And I was good at that for a while. And then I went back to my regular account, the For You page gathering data, keeping me there longer. My therapist suggested, because I was like, I want TikTok on my phone because I use it for exposure and things like that, and it does have some helpful resources, and she said, do you have like an old phone? And I don't, unfortunately. My last phone was like destroyed, which is why I have this one. This one's 3 3 years old now. He was like, do you have an old phone? Because then you can put TikTok on that phone and not have it on your actual phone. And I was like, that's not a bad idea. Having like almost like a work phone. And then I can put the work phone elsewhere, and so I don't feel the need to scroll. But we're getting to the point with social media where just like, I don't mean like in like the wide sense, I mean for me right now, where like the algorithm is starting to show me some like scary things, like extremist things, things I didn't ask to see, footage of like terrible things happening, like things I did not get any prep to see, stuff I like without my consent. So we're starting to get that again with TikTok, where I've had to like start like trying to train the algorithm to not show me certain things, which I used to be quite good at. Like I'm very good at like rejecting content to make it very clear to the algorithm that that is not something I want to see. Same thing with YouTube, like it's showing me like weird extremist stuff like that I don't subscribe to. So I do this thing where, and you guys should try this too sometimes, I go to my history, and this includes like shorts and things. I go to my history controls. It doesn't change everything. It used to affect things a lot more, but I clear my search history and I clear my watch history. And then I refresh. So on my homepage, it goes from stuff, like it still has stuff kind of based on what my viewing habits are, but it's not taking me into rabbit holes anymore. Like it's very like, some of the stuff is very corporate, like clips of The Office, which is not something I watch normally, but it's like people I subscribe to. But this is something I do every so often, where I clear my watch and search history so I stop getting shown weird stuff. But we are getting to the point where like even Instagram is starting to show me some stuff in the explore page that I'm not wild about. Like an idea I'd want to explore, but people take it like super far. And I'm like, didn't really want to go all the way there. We're starting to get like that funny feeling, you know what I mean? As Bo Burnham would say, that funny feeling where you kind of like are scrolling and then you kind of start to question what you're doing with your time. What I'm trying to do is figure out how I used to spend my time before I was doing screens all day. I used to read, I used to just like listen to music. I wasn't doing anything while listening to music. I would just listen to music. Reading was the big one though. And, you know, practice singing and like really get into my imagination, and I still do that. But there's certain things that like I want to be doing for my mental health, and it's figuring out how to trick my brain into not doing this. I had this sticky note on my phone this morning because I had an appointment to go to at 11, and I knew that if I picked this up, I would get distracted immediately. I would open TikTok, like I don't even realize I'm doing it. Like that neural pathway really like was created very quickly. And when I went downstairs to make breakfast, I like went downstairs and I was like, you're gonna sit in the den and you're gonna watch TV instead, because at least it'll keep yourself occupied. But it is less likely to send you down this like addictive rabbit hole. But when I'm alone up here, it's very addicting. Like it's just very easy to like get into that. And here's the thing, once I like open a book, or like I'm doing journaling or whatever, like, or doing whatever activity other than on my phone, I can get sucked in the same way. It's just the matter of starting. So it's the idea of trying to make anything else more of a like unconscious action than opening this. It's day one of my period and I just wept at Dodie's March song. Richard and Betty. I hear the just the same. Never a surprise. Never as before. Never just as sure as the sun will rise. Okay, we are attempting to record a song that has been in my back pocket since spring or summer 2021. I wrote it just before we moved to this house, and it is the closest I think I've ever come to like radio hit style music. It's like catchy. Like, it's actually catchy, and I've played it, like, the couple people I've played it for like it, like, they think it slaps. So, and like, I've been keeping the writing thing on the down low. I've been writing since last year. I started writing again, because it's been a rough go of it for me in terms of confidence in my songwriting. I was on a label 5 years ago, and it kind of crushed my confidence a bit, and what they were looking for from me wasn't... That dog just went off on that car. What they wanted from me and what they wanted from me was not aligned with who I was as an artist. I joined this label, and by the way, if the label is watching this, this is not me slandering you or anything like that. This is just me saying we were not a good fit. They said, one of my first meetings with them, they said, we want you to just sing happy music. And at that point, I had just emerged from a very deep depression. And I was dealing with a lot of stuff still from my college days and a lot of mental health things. And I was like, that is so not where I am, sir. Even though 2017 was a very good year and I had a very nice little upswing. But it just did not match who I was as an artist, as a person. I was 19 and I was still learning. So that EP still exists in the world. And there are like a couple songs on there that I'm like relatively proud of, but I'm ready for the next chapter. And this time I am plowing forward on my own. I am trying to learn how to record my own stuff, or at least some decent demos. This is our setup. This is not a good microphone. I'm aware that this is not a good microphone for what I'm doing, but this is what I have, and I am broke. One day though, maybe I'll ask for like my birthday for Christmas. Yeah, this is editing, Lindsay. You went after recording and immediately purchased another microphone. Like, you paid off of your credit cards and then went and purchased a new microphone, and you're going to purchase another one tomorrow because the one you're getting isn't what you were looking for. But we'll talk about that later. We are recording. Basically, I'm trying to figure out how to record instruments. I do want to get some kind of plug-in, like, for my laptop, for my guitar, because it is an electric acoustic. Yeah, like... there's a few places near me that I could go shopping and get something. But right now I'm just experimenting, trying to record my little poppy hit song. This is after like 2 hours.
All my friends have 9 to 5s and at least enough to just survive. I work nights, talk to the TV. There's no show about your crappy 20s. Everyone has at least 5 friends, and the guy gets the new girl in the end. Everyone knows your name at the bar, and finding a nice place is never hard. Oh, oh, it's all a lie. And I didn't think it hit me up inside. Why can't I be some pretty heroine on 90s TV, or a guy chasing the girl he swears he's gonna marry? Why can't it be so easy breezy like an old TV, where if anything goes wrong, there's always next week?
It's not awful. It's not great. I need a different microphone. Because once we hit the second verse, the quality seems to shift. And I think it's because I had to record. I screwed up like a timing thing. So I was like, well, I'll just layer on top and a new vocal line. And I did it in the closet versus doing it out here, which I think changed the acoustics a bit. So all of a sudden my voice like disappears. So it's my first demo. I don't know shit. I don't know anything. There's got to be easier ways to do things that I did in this, but I haven't figured it out yet. Oh my god. It's just...
This is wild.
It's like it's piling up.
It does.
It's bouncing off of everything and... Wow. Don't drink my coffee, Mimi. Okay. I didn't feel like setting up the nice camera because it takes a lot of time, although the battery's still charging. It's been 24 hours. I don't understand. Anyways, today I am doing another little highway experiment with my mom, which we haven't had a great track record in terms of helping me learn the highway together. She gets very nervous, but I wanted to go to this like bookshop / diner thing. I'm a little nervous because I'm afraid she's gonna make me nervous. It's a different highway. I've never been up this highway before. I'm not familiar with it. I've been driving on one that I've been familiar with and drive on a lot, either with somebody else or by myself. So figured first time out, bring a friend or my mom. So, and if things get hairy, we can always switch. The name of the game for my highway stuff is building tolerance. The most I stay on the highway is like 18 minutes. This would be around like 23 minutes, 24 minutes. It's also a weekend, so you never know. We are practicing our coping mechanisms. We're breathing, still on my period, so that's not helping me because I am already kind of like in a state of discomfort. It's gonna be fine, and I will feel really good once it's over, and I get to do something fun. Listen, I've been wanting to go to this place forever. My friend talks about it all the time, and we always talked about going, and we never did. So now I looked it up the other day and realized how close it was. You know how to do the things. You have the tools at your disposal. You know how to merge. You know how to change lanes. You know how to watch out for your surroundings. It's a lot. So, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. We did it!
You've got to be so happy.
I'm excited, yes. Oh my god. So creepy.
I mean, that's like 90s.
That was in every classroom I was in elementary school. You've never seen Animorphs?
Nope.
They're very creepy. Went well. Had lunch. I got gas, which is good because I've been meaning to do that all week. Unfortunately, it seems like whenever we have these excursions, we seem to discover more and more issues with my car. This time it's not dire, but it's like something's wrong with my exhaust or my muffler, so the car is really loud. It's like really hard on my eardrums. And the earliest I can get in is May 3rd. It is April 10th. So, I mean, it's drivable. It's fine. And that and like wiper fluid's leaking, but that's not the worst thing ever. I'm just so sick. I just got the car fixed. I just got it fixed. I can drive it. It's just loud and annoying. I can make it, a month. And I just don't need that right now, but I have things to do this week. I have to return stuff to the library. I have a mic to purchase tomorrow, as well as a stand. I have voice lessons, I have the gym, I have work twice this week. I'm gonna try to relax now. I've got nothing else to do today. Might want to read more. Here's something nice. Reading update. I finished Paranormalcy yesterday night. Liked it. I liked it well enough. Like 3 out of 5. It was good. It was a cute little, 2012 YA urban fantasy romance book. Cute. I liked it because it follows this is a personal rule for me for like first book in a series. I believe first books in series should stand on their own. I don't like when cliffhangers happen at the end of first books. That can happen when you're like deep in a series, but I feel like first books should always stand on their own. And this one definitely did that. It had like a nice little wrapped up ending, and then if I wanted to continue I can, or if I don't want to continue it doesn't matter, because I'm not really a big series gal. So it was cute. I liked it. Tried to start Devil's Lexicon or Demon's Lexicon, was reading through, just wasn't in the mood. So then I picked up a book that I'd had for like a few years called The Hearts We Sold, which is still within the supernatural realm. I just really liked the lead character's voice. It's basically just a world where demons exist and people sell body parts instead of souls for deals with these devils. And the world building and stuff with this like magical realism I like the way they set up how this world operates, I really like, because it's just like our world and they kind of come into the world very suddenly, and the way that they talk about like what media reception was like and what internet reception was like felt very true to what I think it would be like if demons just came out of the woodwork and were like, hi, we exist, we have a proposition for you. So I'm interested in that. Started reading the Supernatural and Psychology book. Very readable. Sometimes that stuff comes is very academically written, which is very dense, but very readable. Was getting through it quite quickly. So that was nice. Went through my finances, because when I was purchasing microphones and stuff after recording my demo, I had to go through my finances and kind of figure out where my big spending was. And turns out my monthly expenses really aren't the issue. I was doing a lot of extraneous fun money spending that I really couldn't afford. Just a lot of like poor impulse control, late night shopping, shouldn't have been doing. Also, the mic that's coming, I don't think is what I'm looking for. The store called me after I made the order and told me that the one I wanted was discontinued and it was open box. They had like rerouted me to a store in Queens, and the guy called me and I was like, well, what's the next model up after that? Because also they told me the one I ordered wouldn't come with cables and stuff. Like, it was just, I don't know if it was used or what. So I was like, just give me the next one up. And then it turned out to be a podcast microphone. But I thought, well, instead of like, I need a better setup for like voice work and thing for acting and stuff too. And my mom's also looking to get into voice acting. So she said if that ends up being something that works more for me than for you, she'll pay me for the mic and then we'll go on our way. But tomorrow I'm going out to the store in my loud car, or my mom's car, whichever, to get another get the microphone that I want, like the actual one I want. Guitar Center has it. It's a little more expensive than I'd like, but it's an investment. I just need a better mic than what I've been using for the past several years. It's just not designed for what I need to do, and if I'm going to be serious about this, I have to have at least a beginner level equipment. And this is supposedly very user-friendly, very good. I know for a fact Dodie uses it, and she's sung its praises, so I'm like, I trust you. Especially when she travels so much and makes stuff with this microphone. I'm like, okay. I'd like to do my laundry. That might make me feel like my life's in control. And make my bed, because that might make me... I need to feel in control right now. Because I feel like my car and everything, it's just really stressing me out. Oh... We're not even halfway through April. Good morning. It is April 13th. We've had, I was going to say a wild couple of days, but that's not necessarily true. I have gone from reading like one book at a time to like 3. Because I'm reading Supernatural and Psychology. That's like what I've been reading before bed at night. Very readable, getting through it very quickly. Then I'm reading The Hearts We Sold, which is very interesting. That's what I read this morning. And then I also picked up The Unraveling of Cassidy Holmes, because I was also a bit on like a singer-songwriter like pop star kick. Like, I wanted to read something about that, and I had that in my bookshelf for a while. Also because I have been recording music again. I've been recording music again. I bought this whole setup here. Because I used to keep all my tech stuff in that basket there, but now I have this 3-tiered shelf thing. And I got this microphone. This is what I was supposed to get in the mail before the guy from Queens called me to swap it out with this microphone, which I did try out yesterday. Like, I finally took it out of the box and tried it. It is serviceable. I can't really know its potential until I get it on a stand, because I was holding it in my hand, and of course it's bad. So I have been favoring this one, which is what I want. And I've been making demos of my original stuff, as well as just like doing covers and things to get comfortable with editing sound. But yeah, now I keep all my audio and video and stuff on this 3-tiered cart. My nice camera is in there, but I didn't feel like setting it up because I have to get ready for work in like 10 minutes. Another thing, it's my first time back at work in a while. This is like my first shift of the month of April. So I work today, I work Saturday right before Easter, which is going to be... Then I have 2 days off, and then I go to New York. And then right when I get back, I have an opening shift scheduled. Amazing. Okay, ignore the yard work sounds if you can hear them. I'm gonna try and do this in the most boundaryful way and in a way where I'm not going to become a wreck, because I do have to go in an hour. So to put it in the most basic way possible, there have been some family things happening that I won't go into that have made me super mega aware of time passing, which is something that triggers everything for me. And I think what's been happening is these are things I've been aware of. It's been going on for probably like a year or so now, just like some stuff going on that I've basically been like, I will deal with it when it becomes immediate and a problem. And yesterday it became immediate and a problem. I just like received some news that I'd expected to come for a while, and it just triggered 24 years worth of like really, really bad, like stuff that I had thought but hadn't said out loud, like things that had crossed my mind that I'd never really addressed. And I've been in therapy, you know, for years. I've had the same therapist for several years, like since I was in high school. And like we talk every week, and I do telehealth, and it's constantly just like whatever I'm immediately dealing with. What's my week like? What's, you know, how's work? How's, you know, school? Like, what, like just kind of my day-to-day stuff. And for the past, like, end of March, beginning of April, I've just been going through the motions, you know, go to work, recording demos and things like that, writing music, editing this, making my bed in the morning, going to the gym, just doing the things I do. While all the time there is a big, dark, scary tangle of things in my head and intrusive thoughts and like awfulness going on in the background, just running like a background computer program, just running in the background. And if you know anything about computers or phones, you know that if something is running in the background, like email refreshing or messages refreshing or things like that, you know that it takes energy from a phone. So you know when you put your phone into power saver mode, it turns off a bunch of stuff that's running on in the background that you wouldn't notice. And I think that's what's been going on. I've been getting 8 hours of sleep. When I do sleep, you know, go to the gym, trying to eat 3 square meals a day, things like that, do the basics, and I still wake up every morning and look in the mirror and think, oh my god, I look sick and exhausted. So obviously something is eating at me, eating away at me, and it's basically just something I've been pushing aside and pushing aside and pushing aside, like lots of things. And it's just like one thing, but like a bunch of issues. I'm just pushing it aside and pushing it aside because, and I said to my mom last night when I was finally like, kind of like just done with it, I said, she was like, why don't you like, she's like, why haven't you like said some of this stuff out loud? And I was like, because I don't have time. I don't have time for this. I don't have time to get like weepy and like sad and like I was just like, because it lasts for so long. And she's like, well, why, you have to process. And I was like, because I was like, it's not gonna fix anything. It won't fix anything if I just get all like, you know, emotional and sad and like whatever, and you know, like, how is that dealing with it? It doesn't change anything. And she's like, but you need to release. I'm coming to realize I'm not very good at the feeling stuff. I'm very good at like locking it up and moving on. I don't do emotions well. I've come to realize I don't do emotions well, at least with other people. But yeah, so I got some news yesterday that just brought up everything. And I also said, I was like, I don't have time for this, because if I think about this one thing, it's going to turn into 6 million other things. Because I haven't dealt with anything. Yeah, I have therapy in person for the first time today. I had to set up an extra session because this week was a lot. And then I have my session Monday, but it's the day before a massive travel day. So I wanted to be able to deal with this before I could use the session on Monday to go through all of my stuff for travel. Last night was a rough night. I frankly feel like I got hit by a truck. Like, I don't feel like, I can feel like maybe like the beginnings of a headache or something, maybe like sitting in the back of my skull. And you know, I tried to like distract myself so I could sleep last night. And there's too many people in this house. But yeah, I haven't felt right for probably a month. There's just too much going on. And I don't like thinking about it because it becomes too, it's a spiral. That's what it is. It becomes a spiral, and it escalates and it escalates and it escalates and it escalates, and then I can't get anything done. I become paralyzed. Because with me, it's never just one thing that's going on in my life. It spirals into a billion other things about me, about my family, about the world, about everything. So it's just like, I don't have time for it. That's what I mean when I don't have time for it, because I can't get it to stay in one place. And this was one of the issues I had in school, when everything was just so god-awful. Like, I could not cope, and that led to some very bad habits on my end that we have moved past, but it's still like an everyday thing I gotta work on. It's just a lot right now. It's a lot right now, and it's Easter weekend right now, so that's a family thing, and I'm just not in the place to deal with it right now. I just feel like raw and gross, and oh my god, I wish everybody would shut the hell up. They can stop walking around. Another thing too, it brought up something about like, I get so weird about my space because I feel like I've never had control over my environment, because I lived in my parents' house my whole life. I don't own the house. I am at the mercy of what my parents decide to do with said house. I was in a dorm situation where I was at the mercy of a roommate situation that wasn't great, for various reasons. So I constantly felt like I just wasn't, I had no control. I had no control over my space. I never felt like I was home anywhere. So I constantly had this feeling of like, I want to go home, but there is no place to go. Like, there's here where I'm comfortable, but it's not mine. And I can't afford to have a space that's mine. Because if I move into an apartment building, I'm still going to be at the mercy of neighbors, landlord, all this other stuff. And I don't want to spend too long on this because I don't want to have to cut out a bunch of bullshit. But I didn't want it to not be included, because then it wouldn't really be, I feel like, a truthful portrayal of what this year is, and I do want it to be truthful but without oversharing, so that's why I won't go into too many details. But I'm going through it right now. I keep making this joke that a TikTok tarot reader that came across my For You page, like one of those ones with like no tags or anything, like there's no reason for the algorithm to bring it to you, like, unless it's meant for you. And she said a whole thing like, your suffering will be over, and like, she's like, 2 weeks, I feel it, 2 weeks, like any kind of discomfort or whatever, like this feeling of upheaval and like everything, it's gonna be over in 2 weeks. And that was like a week ago. So I was like, oh, like by the time maybe I get back from New York, everything will be better. And like this week, it's just like everything keeps just like coming at me. I'm stressed, and like it's just bringing up a lot of crap, and I'm just like, I hope she was right. I hope once this, like, I mean, it's Friday. I hope once I get back from New York, I'm gonna feel much better, and maybe things won't be so hard, because I'm so tired. I'm so tired. Hello, it is Easter. It is April, I almost said October, that's really bad. It's April 17th? I can't read. It's April 17th. Going to my dad's for like an early dinner around like 1 o'clock. I have one of those headaches again that's like this. I'm trying to like remain active, eat, just to make sure like the headache go away, because I cannot have this lasting several days, because I have to leave Tuesday. Trying to kind of mentally prepare. We have 2 things planned. Well, 3 things technically. The Lord concert's on the 19th when I get there. It's at night. The next day, I think we're going to the American Girl Doll Cafe for like brunch. And then we're going to try and do, and I didn't know this was a thing until my friend told me about it, the Museum of Illusion. Of Easter today, my car has to get dropped off at 9 a.m. tomorrow. I'm still feeling the effects of like the past couple of days, like what you saw before, and that's probably taking a toll on me a bit. I'm hoping the time away will be good and not make it worse. We're doing our best. Look. Oh my god. Hello. It is April 21st. My voice, like, not. It's hard. Like, it's there, but it's hard to get it to come out. In case you haven't gathered, my 2-year streak of COVID luck has officially run out. And by 2 years, I mean 2 years, because it is April. Yeah, I thought I had really nasty allergies. And then Liz and I got a test. And it was positive so fast. Just so fast. So fast. So we had to figure out how to get me out of the city, which I wish I didn't have to do it this way, but we all just kind of panicked and tried to get me out as quickly as possible because her apartment is not conducive to isolating me. I tried to look up New York City isolation hotels because I thought those were still a thing. They are not. They literally got like they finished March 2022. Thanks, New York government. We basically tried to cut down as much travel that I had to do so I wouldn't be around as many people. So I did like one taxi and one train. Did not take my mask off like pretty much the whole time. I get on a Metro North. I didn't know this until recently, but on the e-tickets app where I buy my tickets and the train time app for the Metro North, if you click on the train that you're taking, it does tell you which cars are the emptiest. Trying to avoid crowds, very hard to do at Grand Central. So I get to this train station where I'd normally pick up Amtrak, and my mom has driven like an hour to meet me there, and I sat in the back of that car to go home. And I got home around like 5 o'clock yesterday. So I've officially been here for like 24 hours. Let's talk about the Lorde concert just real quick. I feel really bad now that I went to a Lorde concert because I probably exposed people. I feel really bad. I didn't know. I genuinely didn't know. I thought it was allergies. I genuinely did. It was a good show. I do have a story. My anxiety did get the best of me, like right after the opener. I noticed that like in the quiet moments, I would kind of get in my head where I would just kind of get worried about getting anxious and getting ill, which would then make me get anxious and get ill. So Lorde opener finishes, and she was good. She was like high energy, so it was helpful. I had something to focus on, and it was loud enough that it kind of drowned out your thoughts. And then she finishes, and there's like, a lull. You're waiting around for Lorde to come on. And I was like, okay. And I started to get that like that feeling of like, I'm gonna be sick, something's gonna happen. Hold on. Okay, so I had to leave. Went out into the lobby to try and find a bathroom. That line was insane. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna stand by a trash can in case anything happens. And I was just standing. It's Radio City, beautiful lobby. Just did some people watching, walked around a bit, just tried to keep my body moving, kind of shake off the nerves kind of thing. And I would calm down. But when I would think about going back in, I would get a little anxious. I was like, oh, you know what? I'm just going to wait till I hear something start. So when I'm coming in, something's going on. I'm not like, it's not a quiet moment. So I texted Liz, who was, it was like just inside. So I texted Liz. I was like, I'm going to come in when I hear it like start. They do like the bell dingy thing, like right before the show starts. And I was like, okay, I better go in because I don't know if they lock the doors or like what. I doubt they lock the doors, but either way. So I got anxious. I went in. Sat down. Lorde came on shortly after. I don't remember what the opening song was, but I do remember like second or third song was Stoned at the Nail Salon. And it was just too much of a quiet moment. Like, it's a ballad. So I got a little bit in my head. It wasn't like Solar Power or like Ribs or like, Green Light. It wasn't anything that had like a beat you could dance to or anything. Because when I kept my body moving, it was good. And I ended up having to leave the theater and go throw up in a trash can. Let me tell you, sometimes it's good to be in New York because I was throwing up in front of, like, most of the staff. No one batted an eye. Sat there, like, it took me a minute, went to the bathroom, cleaned myself up, come back out, ordered ginger ale and water from the bar. And I don't drink ginger ale because I don't like carbonation, but I was like, I will do anything at this point to just make it through the rest of the night. She gave me ginger ale, she gave me water. She was like, enjoy the rest of your concert. And I was like, I'll try. So yeah, we made through the rest of the night without a hitch. I slept in the main part of Liz's apartment, so I kind of had some time to myself. Was able to relax. Did a little coloring on my iPad because therapy. And everything seemed fine. I woke up the next morning and I was like, okay, hopefully my stomach will stay together. And I wasn't really eating much because I was kind of scared to eat. And the thought of food kind of made me like nauseous anyway. I wasn't really eating much. But yeah, we went out to like Target and Rite Aid or something to go get some things. And then that's when I kind of said like, I got weak. Like I got physically weak. I was like, I feel like I need to sit down and like. So I bought myself a rapid test at CVS and we took it at home, and yeah, now I'm here. My ear is plugged and I can't talk. The only person I've touched is the dog because she's the only person who can come near me. I've been passing my food back and forth on a tray I didn't know we had.
These have been with me. There's a trash bag next to me. My room's a mess because I can't unpack because I'm too tired. And I won't edit this for probably another few days. Okay, first day back at the job after COVID. Woo, I'm still sinusy. Can't keep putting it off. And I need the shifts, although I would have gotten pandemic pay if I had called out, but I need to get out into the world. And also I have like a prescription that I have to pick up, which is nearby, so I figured I'd just do that on the way home. I'm back in my car for the first time since it got fixed. I still have to get the exhaust fixed because it's super mega loud, but they referred me to this other place to get it done rather than the dealership because the dealership would charge me like so much money. So I have to call them as soon as I can. I'd like to like cut down on my credit card debt just a little bit before I have to shell out God knows how much money, because they make it sound like it's only going to be a few $100 to get it done. But like, I will believe it when I see it, because every single time I've brought this car in recently, they've been like, oh, it's only going to be this much, and it's never that much. So there is a high possibility that my review is today, because I think it was supposed to be on Saturday, and then I missed Saturday because COVID. So I have a distinct feeling that I will be, well, because I have to get my new shirts because those came in, so they're going to give those to me at my review. So they told me that it was most likely happening this week. Last year reviews were such a source of drama at this job because of how they handled some pay stuff, and it wasn't great, and it sucks that review time always happens during the spring when we're slow, because then my skills are not reflected during the springtime. Fine. I'm hoping it's a weekday and it'll be slow and I don't have to deal with any shit. Okay, let's keep this short and sweet because I've got half a battery and this is due in less than 24 hours. April has felt like the longest month of this year so far. Like, February and March flew by. April felt so long. So long. So many things. So many things happened. Can't say it was great. Can't say it was great. Maybe like a 3 out of 10. What did I do? I went out to a bar. That was fine. Drove on the highway, found more things wrong with my car, went to Lord, which was fun, kind of, except for the throwing up part, and then caught COVID. However, we were worried about money. We were worried about money things. And I am proud to say that this week I have 2 job interviews, including one with a company that I had today that would be actually within the realm of something I want to work in. So, fantastic. I have another interview on May 2nd on Monday. Arguably out of the 2, I'd want the first one more, but we're keeping our options open. Possibly it could mean better pay for me, or at very least a foot in the door of an industry I want to be in. We've bought new equipment. We've upgraded. We've, had some realizations. We've thought about some stuff. I've certainly thought about some stuff. There's definitely a rearrangement of my values and my identity and like what that means for me and what my adult life is looking like. I'm hoping May will see the results of this time of transition, or it could just get worse. So, I guess I'll see you on the other side. Mom and Dad let me stay home and drive you crazy getting old. Couldn't wait to turn 15. Then you blink and it's been 10 years. Growing up, believing that it's time and all at once. Everybody wants the best for you, but you gotta want it for yourself. My love, you can take him if you want, 'cause I'm tired.